From the Peterson Event Center on the campus of the great University of Pittsburgh inside Pitt Studios, welcome to the award-winning Pat Narduzzi Show. I'm Larry Richard with Panthers head coach Pat Narduzzi. Congratulations on a signature win over a perennial powerhouse, Clemson's Tigers, 27-17. You were only one of two coaches since 2015 who have two wins against Dabo, and that would be you and some guy from Alabama named Nick Saban. So congrats, Coach. It was everything you hoped a college football game at home would be.
It really was. It was an electric atmosphere. I think our kids really enjoyed it. I'm sure you can talk to our special guest today about that. And they had a big part in that game, and our kids played their tails off, and we could have beat them by more.
I want to give the Panther Pit some love because they moved up the rankings as well as being the tremendous student fan base. They're now in the top 5 nationally.
Is that right?
Yes.
It was impressive. I'm telling you what now. I didn't know we had that many students at Pitt.
When they opened the gates at 1:30, they were literally running down the aisles to fill the Panther Pit. Yeah, absolutely. We're running out of superlatives to describe Kenny Pickett. But the thing I loved most, national TV after the game, Molly McGrath is interviewing him, and he says, you know what I'm going to say? Yeah, he goes, well, I think I'm just going to have a cold one, enjoy this, but it doesn't mean anything unless we take care of business against Miami. And that was kind of the exclamation point to the day.
It's spoken like a coach. I mean, it's like he's not even enjoying that win. He's already thinking of the next one. Most kids get caught up in the moment, the fans, the fight song, and he's already like thinking the next step. And that's kind of how he is. And that's how he's been leading our football team this year.
And on the field, Servassier Dennis led the fight song. He had
I didn't get to see it.
He had a play, and I asked Bill Hillgrove's been doing this a long time, a half century. I said, Bill, professional college, have you ever seen a player on a shovel pass get a pick six? And he said, absolutely not. So that was quite a moment in the game. Kind of turned everything around in a big way.
It really did. That was a big-time play, and great call by Coach Bates and great execution by those backers getting through there. And Servassier took it to the house, and he had a kind of little Heisman move there, a little stiff arm. He looked like Tony Dorsett a little bit there as he was taking off through the.
Nobody was going to catch him.
No.
That was a lot of fun. But as you go through the game and go through the plays, another really impressive thing, and your team has done this in consecutive games, is control the ball in the fourth quarter. 13 minutes, 26 seconds against Clemson and rolled up over 400 yards of offense. That hasn't happened to them in a long, long time.
Yeah. I mean, you get the passing game going, it opens up your run game, and that the Hogs, as they call themselves, were getting it done up front. It was just at will. I mean, the only thing that could stop us was those yellow flags that got thrown out there.
Couple of notes, Jordan Addison and the pass that Kenny Pickett threw in a tight window. When I look back at that play, there wasn't much space, and he's on the move, and he hits Jordan Addison to tie the game right there in the Panther Pit. That was huge.
No question about it. It was a big throw, and so was his other one down there in that Panther Pit to Taysir Mack on 4th and 5. Those were two big-time passes.
Yeah, you kind of shocked Clemson on that one because they weren't expecting that play. And Kenny, to give the line credit, they're giving him time, and we heard this from Coach Salem. We heard this from even Randy Bates, who talked to the press this week about his observations of Kenny. And it's like you mentioned this early in the season. Things have slowed down for him. And in those moments, he's making the right picks and his receivers, and he's able to run when he needs to advance and get a first down.
Yeah, I mean, he's been special in every way. We just, knock on some wood and that he continues to play a high level. But, he is so locked in and focused. I don't see him playing any other way.
And looking forward to the next game, which is Saturday at noon at Heinz Field against the Miami Hurricanes. Coach, nice to have back-to-back home games.
It really is. We were on the road for a couple weeks, and it's nice to be home, and it's nice to have Clemson and Miami home at the same year.
And every week at this time, we talk about the weekly awards that you and the coaching staff give out. Before that, I want to mention additional awards from the ACC. Servassier Dennis, co-ACC linebacker of the weekend. Carter Warren, co-offensive lineman of the week. So let's talk about your players of the week.
Beautiful. Special teams player of the week, we have Sam Scarton, 2 for 2 on his field goals. Those were 2 big field goals that we expected to get touchdown drives. Penalties, stopped us a little bit there. 2 or 3 or 4 of them each drive. It seemed like the flags were flying, but Sam did his job. He went in there, popped to 34 and a 40-yarder and 44-yarder, and was 3 for 3 on his PAT. So Sam had a nice day. He's got to keep that going. It's nice that his confidence is continuing to grow as the season goes on. Servassier Dennis, his 4 tackles and that big pick 6 on the shovel pass, that'll be a big play forever in Pitt history. That was a big time play. And then, of course, Kenny Pickett with his 302 yards passing against a Clemson defense that usually gives up 302 yards total defense. And our offensive lineman of the week, Carter Warren, which matches what he did with the ACC. So we're proud of those guys.
And now you talk about your unsung heroes. We always talk about the third element of the game. You've got the offense, defense, special teams, such a key role. You mentioned the field goals, but also the punting is so crucial. And you recognize Kirk Christodoulou.
Yeah, Kirk had one of his better days this year. We've been waiting for him to break out. He only had to punt 4 times, which is a great thing. Averaged 47, but netted 42, which is great. Net means you didn't kick it through the end zone because you could have some long punts. But him and Trey Tipton was obviously a key as well as far as him just downing that thing inside the 5. And he's been spectacular. He's the guy, and we got to find some more guys to do that for the future. But he downed one. Down in for Kirk and made his net a lot better.
And your special guest was Damari Mathis last week. And look, he got another pick, and that was really crucial because the Tigers were moving the ball inside the red zone, and right around the 5-yard line, he was able to get the INT.
That was a big one. Took 7 off the board, and as a corner, when you can go on play a fade ball and get a pick, it makes offenses go, maybe I shouldn't go that side. So to me, they're critical when you get those. It makes people go, maybe I shouldn't throw at 21. Maybe I should go to the other side. Then you kind of know where they're going to. So he was our defensive unsung hero, as well as Brandon Hill, who had 7 tackles, 3 PBUs. He was put on a nice watch list this week as well, the Thorpe Award. So I'm proud of him. It kind of shocked me when I got that call, but he's playing at that level and had a nice pick against Tennessee. And then the other guy in defense, Kalijah Cansey, with 2 tackles, a TFL, and a forced fumble that we didn't get, which is unfortunate. We got to come up with those this week.
And Kalijah Cansey, by the way, will be part of our pregame show on Saturday. We're on the air at 10 o'clock. Jeff Hathorn had a chance to go one-on-one with that big beast in the middle. He's fun. He's fun to watch.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to talk with. I'm sure Jeff will have a great time. And then offensively, that unsung hero was Rodney Hammond with 11 carries, 66 yards, and he was the fourth quarter show. I mean, I just love the way he glides through the line of scrimmage. He's going to be a super back here.
The thing we noted during the game is he gets hit and he doesn't go down. He bounces off. He fights every inch.
I mean, you talk about just who the hot guy is. Izzy went down. He came in, and we got a lot of faith in him as well. And I know the O-line probably likes that guy when he's running behind him. O can tell you what's that like when you see a guy pop through the line of scrimmage and you're blocking a guy and you're seeing him in front of you. It's got to be a great feeling.
And defensive attack force player of the week.
Desmond Alexander, he had 9 tackles, 2 hits on the quarterback, 2 big hits. He had a couple big hits, one on the quarterback when he scrambled and gained a couple yards, and then he's been playing good for us, and I think getting better every week.
And the Rocks players are the scout team performers that really are key to set up your team for your opponent.
No doubt, and they're critical, and I think they enjoy getting this award. We get them a dog tag with their name on it and everything. And they get to get 3 or 4 of them. They got a nice collection for the year. But Dante Caputo, a transfer from Wisconsin, Pittsburgh kid, was our special teams player of the week. Offensively, Garrett Bickhart does a great job. He's a senior, selfless guy that just goes and does whatever it takes, and he always gives us a great look. And then defensively, we keep hearing this name, and again, I'm trying to get him to mix it up, but like Elliot Donald is continuing to get better every week on that scout team, and I'm sure Owen can tell us a little bit about Elliot.
Those are the Rocks players of the week, and overall the awardees against Clemson's Tigers. Yeah, Elliot Donald has been mentioned, I think, 3 consecutive weeks, so he's on a roll for your scout team. And when we come back, Coach's special guest, Senator Owen Drexel, will join us. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
Experience the power of e-bikes from Pro Bike and Run. Pittsburgh's hills are no match for e-bike power. Go farther, go faster. Pro Bike and Run has the largest selection of bikes in Pittsburgh. We have the bikes. Stop by a store near you.
We are back with the Pat Narduzzi Show. I'm Larry Richard with Coach's special guest. He's a fifth-year senior, the center Owen Drexel from Montclair, New Jersey, 6'3", 310, give or take. Right, Owen?
Sorry.
And what made you choose Pitt?
I mean, it was just a feel thing. You know, I love Coach Narduzzi, and I love the school. I mean, I love the atmosphere, and I love the Hogs. You know, the guys that were here at the time. You know, Brian O'Neill, Alex Buxer. They just brought that mentality that I loved. So definitely.
I hope Brian O'Neill borrowed money from you because you might be able to get it back now.
Oh, definitely. That guy definitely got paid.
I mean, you look at that stuff, and I you know, every week most of the players would like to play on Sundays. I assume that would be the case with you.
Yeah, I feel like every player has that dream, you know, and seeing a guy like Brian who brought that mentality every day, you know, it really gives you that hope and that you know, that idea in your brain.
And you had a good mentor at the center position in Jimmy Morrissey, who we also got some good news about last week.
Oh, definitely. I was super happy for Jim to see that, and yeah, he was the best mentor you could ask for.
And explain to the fans what your job is. It's not just to snap the football, right?
That's actually funny you brought that up. You know, I was explaining it recently to somebody. It's like trying to solve a puzzle while getting punched in the face, you know?
That's a great analogy, Coach.
It is.
So explain that process.
Oh, you know, you come up to the line, you try to read the defense and put your guys in the best position to win, you know, whether it's run or pass, whether it's, you know, taking the slide a certain way, you know, putting your guys in best position.
You know, a lot of this game is based on, you know, we always talk about the success of Kenny Pickett, and rightfully so, but he's not able to do what he does unless you guys do your job.
Oh, Kenny's a special guy, but yeah, no, definitely we take a lot of pride in protecting that man.
And you have, and it's been, as we mentioned, impressive in the fourth quarter, especially these last two games, to dominate like you have on offense.
You know, it takes a lot. You know, we call it inside fun, the fourth quarter. So yeah, we take a lot of pride in that.
By the way, congrats! You became bowl eligible. If no one mentioned that to you with the win against
We haven't
Clemson.
talked about it, have we?
No, not at all.
That ain't the goal.
No, not at all.
I know coaches have, I think, done a great job of getting you guys to focus. One of the things are distractions. It's so natural and so easy in this day and age with social media. But I made a note, you said a few weeks ago, you cut out the Twitter stuff and you're trying not to follow any of that, good and bad.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I feel like a key, especially like you said in this day and age, is trying to, you know, tune out all the noise. I try to be consistent with all the things I do every week. So yeah, definitely that's been a big part of our success, I feel like.
And have you gotten the other guys to do the same?
Yeah, a bunch of the guys have hopped in the same train. So yeah.
So let's give your teammates some love there up front. You guys are very tight, and that makes a difference during the game, right? You kind of get a feel now. You gel. You know what you're doing.
Oh, very close. You know, I feel like I can think whatever my guys are thinking while they're thinking it, if that makes sense.
And you're happy for the success. Carter Warren getting some love from the ACC.
Oh, that's my
mentioned.
guy. Yeah.
Marcus Minor, grad transfer, comes in here, gets a taste of winning, likes it a lot. Jake Cradle, Gabe Hoy, those guys, and the guys that back you guys up.
Oh yeah, it's a great group. It's a great room. We're all so close. It's like family. You know, I'm going back over, hang out with them after this, and watch some film, watch some more tape, and chop it up with them. So yeah, I'm very excited.
But I do notice, you know, game days, everybody's focused. I mean, it's always and should be that way. But this team, to me, as an observer, I've really noticed a progression, and it's showing in your results each and every week.
Yes, sir. You know, one thing I noticed after the Clemson game, and we all talked about it as an offensive line, is that, you know, I feel like in years past, after big wins, you'd have that big feeling in your chest, you know, like something unexpected happened. We were talking about how, you know, we didn't feel that this game because it was something that we expected to do and go out and do.
You know, I would imagine this dinner we heard about. So Kenny Pickett, from day one, turned his name, image, and likeness opportunity to take you guys, the offensive line, to dinner at the Oaklander. And Are you still going?
Oh yeah, we just went yesterday. Yeah, it's definitely appreciated. And I was gonna say one thing. Marcus Minor eats the most. That's what I promised I would say during this interview.
That's why he's always smiling. So what's your pick? Surf and turf? You go for the most expensive thing on?
Oh,
the menu?
definitely going for the steak every time. I walk in, just point.
So what do you guys do? We know it's all business during the season, especially. You guys work so hard year round, but you got to have a balance to your life. So what do you guys do when you're trying to relax, since you're not plugged into social media?
In all honesty, in the season I'm pretty locked in, but especially in the off season, I'm playing video games, hanging out with my girlfriend, and listening to a lot of music.
Okay, that opens the door, Coach. We're maybe 2 for 50 on knowing the songs that players have picked over the years. So what's your go-to to listen to, or maybe do you listen to music to get pumped up pregame?
Yeah, definitely listen to music to get pumped up. The rapper called Rod Wave that a lot of guys love, and I got to give a shout out to the Jersey boy Bruce Springsteen himself. Yeah.
Okay, that's
a little bit.
Now we're 3 and 50. We do know Bruce Springsteen. Let's talk about Miami for a moment, because each and every week Miami's team is usually fast and talented at every position. They've had their share of injuries this year. We'll talk more about those with Pat Bostic, but you're facing a very athletic defense.
Oh, very athletic. They're always a very special group. Tough front, very athletic, fast guys, strong. Yeah, all the accolades, all that.
I think of Amari Carter, who's tied with the leading tackler with Corey Flagg. Those guys in the middle. What's so important about what they do? Coach, you call it computer. So which one of these two is the computer?
It'll be, Corey Flagg for sure. He's a transfer in there, I believe, and he's the guy from Texas.
And that's the guy that he gets the signals to call the defense, right?
No doubt. And I think they all look over there and get the defense from what I've seen on TV, but he's going to make sure once they get the defense that they know where to go after that.
It seems, just as an observer, Owen, kind of silly that everybody's hiding. They put up the flags behind, they're giving the signals. I mean, is it really they put up pictures of, Bruce Springsteen and stuff? Who knows what all that stuff means? But I notice you pay really close attention, Mr. Former Defensive Coordinator, Coach.
Those signals are important. Nobody can get our signals unless they're looking at whip. Okay.
No, that's a good lip reader.
So the good thing is we can't, but our defense signals we're real careful with, and we've done some different things. Matter of fact, Clemson is a team that tries to steal, and we did something a little bit sneaky last week that threw them off, I think, early, because I think they'd like to have your calls if they could.
Absolutely. And you're right there at the point of attack, the ball, you're snapping the ball. There's a lot of chirping goes on with the defense?
Oh, just a little talking here now and then.
Who are the talkers on the offensive line?
Man, I might have to give it to myself, in all honesty. Everyone else is pretty quiet.
Well, they say, Owen, you have this great sense of humor.
You can ask
47
Skalski from Clemson. He'll probably tell you.
Is he a talker? Skalski?
No, he's a talker. He was actually a good dude. We talk it between plays, and it's one of those things. As soon as the game's over, everyone's buddy.
Yeah, I saw it. It was nice. I thought the coaching staff, they gave you a lot of credit, and I saw that on the field, Coach, after the game. Wish you the best of luck against Miami, and appreciate you taking some time. You got to get to your offensive line meeting. So,
yes, sir.
Thank you, Owen.
Thank you.
Fifth-year senior center Owen Drexel, and when we come back, we'll talk to former Pitt quarterback Pat Bostic, get the scouting report on the Hurricanes. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Stick together, attitude and effort all day long, okay? And we go Pitt tough.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
It's the Pat Narduzzi Show. I'm Larry Richard, and we welcome former Pitt quarterback and Associate Athletic Director of Major Gifts, Pat Bostic. Pat, great game to call, fun to watch, a signature win. It felt like started a little slow, but then got stronger as the game went on.
That was a big game, big win. Great crowd. I thought the environment was awesome, and it was one of those weekends where everything came together. It's not often you have a Hall of Fame dinner where you have 4 Pro Football Hall of Famers in the same room from the same school. So it was crazy. I was at the table with 2 of them, and Rick Turcano was there too. It was a great group, and they were all there to see it happen on Saturday. It was a great win, but this one's even bigger, which is exciting.
So what do we need to know about the Miami Hurricanes? Brought to you by PNC Bank. Make today the day.
I think they're as good a 3 and 4 team as you're going to find, personally. I mean, you look at the freshmen they have on the board. That defensively, they're long, they're fast. The quarterback made some big-time throws down the field. They've got speed. They're going to take shots, and that young tailback, Knighton, is dynamic. And I just think there's some guys are coming of age. Sometimes when you have struggles early in the year, you get injuries, young guys come in, you struggle a little bit even more, and then the learning curve starts to happen. And I think you're seeing that with Van Dyke, and you're seeing that with Knighton. And obviously they lost Bolden on the defensive side, but they got a couple young safeties. One of them's like 6'5", number 0. And it's going to take a complete performance like what happened last Saturday to beat this team.
What I talked to folks from the Miami Herald, Susan Miller Kegnan, said today that this kid, Knighton, is multi-purpose. He had 166 yards rushing and in receiving, and he's pretty talented.
Caught a wheel route out of the backfield on fourth and 2 last week. So I mean, you got to have eyes on him. He ran a little angle route and a check down, took it for 20 yards. So he's a guy that can catch it early or late and be dangerous.
So you get a big win. There's a natural tendency to, with all the accolades of winning, moving up in the polls to 17. Now the bullseye gets a little bigger.
Does it? I mean, it's the same. Was Monday any different? Tuesday? I mean, you got to prepare. I mean, you can be beaten any week. You can win every week. I mean, it's playoff time. So that's the fun part about it is, it's kind of win or go home. It's every game gets bigger when you're in the hunt, but your preparation shouldn't change. And that's why you have a veteran team. That's why the coaches are there. I'm sure you're turning the heat up a little bit this week on them, just making sure. I mean, guys, it's late October. And that's you want to be in these positions. That's why you coach. That's why you play. That's why you train. And you want the bullseye to be big. So I think you bring it. You welcome it.
The next up is Miami. Manny Diaz in his 3rd year. There's a lot of heat on him as the coach down there because right now they're not doing as well as people think they should be. So they got a little chip in their shoulder. How far back do you go looking at Miami? Just 3 years of Manny Diaz?
Yeah, 3 years of Manny Diaz, as far as the defense goes, but then, just 1 year with Rhett Lashley, who is the offense coordinator there. That's only been there. This is 2nd season as the offense coordinator.
How fast will they go tempo-wise?
They go fast. I mean, probably 25 snaps. I mean, they're not like Tennessee. If they gain yards on 1st down, they'll try to tempo it. If it's a third and 1, they'll tempo it. 3rd and 2, they kind of take their time. 3rd down and long, they want to get in the right play. And it's amazing as you look back through it. Against other people on 3rd down, they go fast at times. 20 seconds. Against us, it's like 35 seconds, 32, and they're looking to the sideline. What do you guys see? And I mean, they're looking a lot, so it'll be a little bit slower because they're worried about making sure they get in a good play based on what we're doing defensively.
You'd imagine that De'Aaron King was their guy coming into the year, and it's a shame. 2 years in a row, he's had a season-ending injury. But are they a lot different? They got to be a lot different with Van Dyke in terms of quarterback run and some of the stuff De'Aaron could do.
Yeah, and King didn't do a lot of quarterback runs, but it was the scrambling out of the pocket that scared you. This kid's not a scrambler. If he scrambles, he's going to scramble to throw it. But what this guy does is he's got nice touch. He's composed. I just think in a couple of years this guy's going to be really, really good. And I think he's good right now. I think he's dangerous. He really is. And he's playing with a lot of confidence. He's getting better every week, which naturally you do as a quarterback. It's starting to slow down for him a little bit. But he's we got to confuse him a little bit, and we've got to pick him off and make him a little nervous to throw the ball out there.
The final insight into the matchup with the Miami Hurricanes based on your observations, Mr. Bostic.
Big plays, explosives. I think that's a critical part of the game. Young quarterback, you want to make him stay patient and try to keep him underneath and pressure him, give him some different looks. I think that's the key in the game, right, is to not give up the big one where they really get confidence. That's where a team like that on the road can get into it. If you make them go the length of the field and sustain drives, typically with young guys, you get a little impatient, you start to force it. So I think that's the motto. We'll see if that plays out.
Well, we're looking forward to game day, and again, the Panther Pit and the fan base was tremendous, almost 61,000. We hope to see you back there. Noon kickoff.
Need you there.
We'll be on the air at 10 o'clock with a pregame show. Pat Bostic, always appreciate your input.
Get up, get your coffee, and get to Heinz Field.
You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Experience the power of e-bikes from Pro Bike and Run. Pittsburgh's hills are no match for e-bike power. Go farther, go faster. Pro Bike and Run has the largest selection of bikes in Pittsburgh. We have the bikes. Stop by a store near you.
Let's get some final thoughts from the Chris Bickle 97 head coach, Pat Narduzzi. Coach, you're 6-1, 3-0 in ACC action. Miami comes to Pittsburgh 3-4, 1-2 in the ACC. You guys are longtime foes. It goes back many years, but it only matters what's happening now. What are you anticipating from the Hurricanes?
Well, we know this. We better be prepared for this weekend. And, our kids have done a great job in preparation. But it's a good football team. I mean, you look at their 4 losses. You can throw those records out. It doesn't mean anything. 2 of their losses are to two teams that are undefeated. Both 7-0 clubs. Alabama and Michigan State aren't bad. Michigan State's on game day this week. So those are 2 good football teams. And then they lost to 2 ACC foes that by a total of 5 points. So they've been in some tough games. And we know every ACC game is tough, period. And, they showed that in their 2 losses by 5 points. And they have as talented a football team as Clemson coming in this weekend. So we're going to be ready to go.
And post-game and in your press conference on Monday, you also credited the fan support that you've got, which was really outstanding. Rock the Royal and the Panther Pit.
Yeah, no question about it. And we'll need their help. I guarantee you that. If they're there, if they do the same thing, they can replicate that energy that they had. Our kids will have more energy as well.
It's the Miami Hurricanes and the Pitt Panthers at Heinz Field at noon on Saturday. Again, our pregame will be on at 10 o'clock. Pat Bostic, myself, and, of course, Bill Hillgrove will have the play-by-play. Coach, good luck against the Hurricanes.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate it.
Thanks to our executive producer, PJ Kamanchik, Amanda Soleil, producing here at the Pete. Michael Kravitz back at Master Control. Pitt's Paul Bartow and his team that do an outstanding job each and every week. So we're ready to go. A special thanks to Executive Associate Athletic Director, Media Relations, E.J. Borghetti, always provides us and keeps us posted. Pitt Beyond the Script, Saturday, AT&T Sportsnet, 10:30 a.m., plus the Pat Narduzzi radio show on TV. That's Friday afternoon, 4:30, re-air Saturday morning at 10. You're listening to the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.